A lot of people confuse self-love with self-care. They think that if they treat themselves to a nice meal, if they read a book about self-love, if they treat themselves to a massage, or they procrastinate with the excuse of taking care of themselves, they think if they do all that, they are loving themselves, when in fact, they aren't necessarily. All of that is not self-love. Some of that might be self-care, while other things aren't even self-care, like procrastinating. Self-love goes much, much further and much, much deeper. And for a lot of people, it is quite hard to grasp what self-love is and how you can cultivate it. That is why I decided to make a whole entire video about self-love, speaking about what it is and what it is not. Why it is so difficult for us to love ourselves, and why it is so important to actually love ourselves. What will change in our lives if we do. And I also share a lot of tips how you can cultivate more self-love, how you can embark on this journey towards more self-love, and what you can change in your life to love yourself more. So stay tuned for all of that and watch this video if you want to learn everything about self-love. Let's do this. Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to another video. My name is Lisa Marie, and if you are new here, this channel is all about inspiration and living your best life. So you want to subscribe for more inspiring videos like this one. Today I want to talk about a topic that is so important but so difficult for most of us, and that is self-love. Self-love is something I used to struggle with for years, and it was only recently that I could really figure out how to fully love myself and how to be happy with myself and what it takes to cultivate self-love. And I know it is difficult for a lot of us. That is why I wanted to make a whole entire video about self-love. So first of all, what is self-love? Or what is it not? Self-love should not be confused with arrogance or narcissism, because narcissism is something entirely different. Self-love is not about thinking you are the best. It is about fully accepting yourself for who you are, with all your flaws and all your weaknesses, not despite them, but with them or because of them. It is about respecting yourself and treating yourself with kindness, and stop hating yourself or hating your weaknesses. It also means stop comparing yourself to others. It is about stopping constant criticism and starting to listen to your body, to your soul, and really nurture yourself and give yourself what you need. Self-love also means loving yourself now and not once you are perfect, because we will never be perfect. Narcissists, on the other hand, think they are better than others, and they need to control others or the situation. They think they have no mistakes or flaws or any weaknesses, and they think they never make any mistakes, and as a result, they never take responsibility for anything. Narcissists are overly confident, but still need approval from others. They need or crave validation, and they cannot handle it when others succeed. They always need to be better than others and need to have the upper hand. They always need to be winning. They completely lack empathy for others, and they don't care about others, basically. When you love yourself, you give those around you permission to love themselves as well. However, if you are a narcissist, you put others down and you are toxic. So there is a big, big difference between self-love and narcissism. And we should definitely aim for self-love and loving ourselves and giving others the space to love themselves as well. But why is it so difficult for us to love ourselves? We are our worst critic, and we have been conditioned that perfectionism is possible and that there are perfect people out there, when in reality there aren't. But because we think it is possible to achieve perfectionism and to become perfect, we constantly see the gap between us and those perfect people, and then we criticize ourselves and put ourselves down. We are also stricter with ourselves and do not really forgive ourselves. And a lot of times we treat others with kindness and forgive them for their weaknesses, but we don't do the same for ourselves. And we know ourselves best, so we know all our flaws and weaknesses. And we don't know all the weaknesses and flaws of others, so it's easy for us to perceive them as perfect and us as not perfect at all or flawed. Also, when we criticize others, we see immediate reactions. We see that we have hurt them. However, if we are not in tune with our feelings and we criticize ourselves, we don't feel or see those immediate reactions. We don't really realize how much we hurt ourselves. So it's easy for us to talk ourselves down because we don't see the immediate result of what it does to us. We are also shaped by our past experiences. And if something bad happened to us, that really shaped us for the rest of our lives in a lot of cases. And we are much more likely to remember a bad comment than a compliment. So if 10 people tell you something good about yourself and then one person criticizes you, we are much more likely to remember that. And we are taught to be humble, but a lot of times we confuse it with self-loathing, and we think we can't celebrate ourselves because then we aren't humble anymore. So you see, there is a plethora of reasons for why it's so difficult for us to love ourselves. But that doesn't mean that it is impossible. In fact, I have so many tips what to do to really cultivate self-love, and I'm going to share them in a second. But before I do so, I want to talk about what happens once you love yourself, why it is so important to love yourself. When you love yourself, you are so much more likely to attract love, success, and good people into your life because your vibe attracts your tribe. And if you put out positive energy because you love yourself and you are happy with yourself, then you are kind of sending out this energy of positivity, of being in balance, of being in tune with yourself. And then you're gonna attract people that are also in tune with themselves and that love themselves. And then you can really create a community of love and harmony. You will also be able to attract true love, somebody that loves you for your flaws and not despite them. Because if you don't love yourself, how can you expect others to love you? It's impossible. So you really need to be centered and balanced. And then people will love being around you because you are such a positive person. And it will really, really improve your relationships because people will enjoy your company. And you will be kinder to others, which again will be reflected back to you because then people will be kinder to you as well. You will also have a lot more energy because you will have less energy invested into hating yourself, and you can use that additional new energy to really build the life of your dreams. Because if you have this additional space that used to be held by self-loathing and hatred, and you use that space or that focus and energy to really concentrate on your skills and your strength, then you can really start working and building your dream life, your dream career, your dream relationships. You can really use that additional energy to really take a big step forward. And once you are balanced and centered and at peace, you are so much more relaxed and others can really shake you. You will become independent from external factors. External factors or other people can't really shake you anymore or destroy your self-love or confidence because you know who you are and you love yourself for yourself and you stand for yourself, and you will appear so much more confident. And if you get criticized, you know who you are and you can deal with it in a calm manner without reacting to external factors or people or criticism. And once you are more centered and confident and relaxed, you will not only be kinder to others, but you will also be a light for them. You will be so much more compassionate. When you love yourself, you will also make much healthier choices when it comes to the people around you or your habits or the situations you choose in your life. You will choose what is best for you and not what you want or what will feed into your self-hatred. So you will remove all the toxic people, habits, relationships from your life. And you will also stop comparisons and self-sabotaging, and you won't need to prove yourselves to others anymore. And finally, once you love yourself, you will be less vulnerable in a way that people can't use your flaws against you, because if you accept and respect yourself and accept your flaws, no one can use them against you. So there are so many reasons why self-love is important, why it will improve your life tremendously, so that we should make it our priority to really cultivate self-love and to implement habits and rituals that really, really improve our self-love and help us to love ourselves. But how do you do that? In my opinion, it all starts with forgiveness. You need to forgive yourself for past mistakes, current mistakes, past choices, things you have done, things that you were born with and that you cannot change. It all starts with forgiving yourself. And once you have been able to forgive yourself, which is a process and won't be a one-time thing that happens, and you say, hey, today I forgive myself. It doesn't work like that. It's a process. But once you feel like you are more at peace and you have forgiven yourself, for the most part at least, you have built a foundation that you can use to really implement habits and rituals that will help you to love yourself more. Once you have built this foundation and you have forgiven yourself and you're starting off with a clean slate, you can think of future choices you can make that are healthier. Are there any toxic people in your life that you want to get rid of, that are not helping you to be your best self, but that are constantly feeding into self-hatred and criticism? Set boundaries. How do you let other people treat yourself? Would you treat others the way you let others treat you? Learn to say no more. I know that is really hard and I struggle with that as well. It's so difficult for me to say no because a lot of times I want to please people, but I am working to say no more and to set healthy boundaries. Of course, you don't want to close yourself off, but setting boundaries in a healthy manner is so important. Also, spend time with yourself. Get to know yourself. Get to know your needs. What does your body crave? What does your soul crave? And then start nurturing yourself and giving your body and your soul what it needs. If that means spending more time with yourself, then do that. If that means eating right and giving your body all the nutrients it needs, then do that. Overhaul your diet and really eat healthy and give your body everything it needs. Sometimes we may realize that we need more adventure or more affection in our lives. Really be honest with yourself, be mindful, and find out what you need and what you want from this life. So really spend time with yourself without any distractions, and also pay attention to your thoughts and your self-talk, because a lot of times our self-talk is so negative and it is destroying so much, and it is constantly feeding into self-hatred and putting ourselves down. And once we start paying attention to our self-talk, we will be shocked how we talk to ourselves. Would you talk to others the way you talk to yourself? That is a question you should always ask yourself. Because if you don't, you won't realize how you talk to yourself and how negative and detrimental to your mental health it is. So pay attention to your self-talk and the way it makes you feel. And pay attention to your average emotions on a scale from 1 to 10 on a daily basis. How do you feel? What are the feelings you mostly feel? Are you mostly happy, positive, grateful, or are you mostly unhappy with your life, criticizing yourself, blaming yourself or blaming other people? Are you constantly fearful of what's gonna happen or excited about the future? Really become clear on your feelings, and that will give you an idea on where you're at with your personal development, with your self-talk and your self-love. And once you have an idea on where you're at with your self-love, don't settle. Work on yourself. You deserve the best and you are worth it. So put yourself first in a way that you start working yourself and make working on yourself a priority, because again, you are worth it. And don't settle for less. Don't settle for something you think you deserve, because always remember, you deserve the best. Another very helpful method that a lot of people swear by is inner child work. What does your inner child want? Do you need more love or affection or adventure, as I said earlier? Your inner child knows. So get in touch with yourself. When you spend this time with yourself without any distraction, you can monitor your thoughts and your feelings, as I explained just now, but you can also work with your inner child. We all have an inner child inside of ourselves that needs love, that needs affection, that needs its basic needs met. We all have that child in ourselves, and we need to get in touch with ourselves to find out what we really need, because a lot of times we are not aware of that. And if you picture an inner child, it will be easier for you to find out what you need and to picture your needs. So we've spoken about spending time with ourselves, working with our inner child, and working on ourselves. Working with ourselves also means letting go of everything that doesn't serve you. Letting go of people, habits, relationships, and everything that triggers you. If you go online on social media and you follow, I don't know, all these models that look the way you want to look, and that triggers you, and again, puts you in a spot where you hate yourself, unfollow these people. Get clear on your triggers, what triggers you to feel bad again, and try to remove those triggers from your life. Really create a supportive environment, a supportive community that can really help you to feel your best. And that community might be on the same journey like you. They might also be working on themselves. And they can also give you a lot of reasons to be grateful, because being grateful is also a major help with your self-love. If you become aware of all the things you are grateful for. And if you need help with gratefulness, check out my video about gratitude and how you can really become more grateful and create your dream life. But gratitude is so important when it comes to self-love, because if you start being grateful for everything that you have in your life, it will be so much easier to love your life and love yourself. And if you focus on all the things that you have, and if you start focusing on your strengths and skills, you can start celebrating yourself. And you shouldn't be ashamed to celebrate yourself. You should love yourself for all that you are, and you should praise yourself in a healthy manner, obviously. Not in a narcissistic way, but in a healthy way. Praise yourself. Celebrate yourself for your successes and your strengths and your skills. So become your biggest cheerleader so that you can become independent from external approval and external recognition. And treat others the way you want to be treated, because then you will feel good about yourself. And others will start treating you better as well. What else can you do to love yourself more? Question your thoughts. What you believe about yourself, is it really true? Is this really objectively true? Do others think the same because it is something that you can observe, because it is objectively true? Most likely it is not. Most likely it is your subjective perception of yourself. So really question your thoughts and question your beliefs. Another major tip is to step outside of your comfort zone and try something new, because then you're gonna expand. And once you expand, you won't go back. Once you learn something new, you become more self-loving, you won't go back. So step outside of your comfort zone to experience new feelings, new emotions, that will help you to love yourself more. But what if you feel stuck or blocked in a specific moment? There are a lot of things that you can do to work on your self-love if you feel stuck right now. First of all, move. Move your body, your glorious body, because if you move, everything will flow and emotions will disappear and dissipate and new emotions will arise. So move your body and do something you are passionate about and that you are good at, because then you will be reminded of all your skills and your strengths. And what also helps is to have a backup list. So write a list of all the things you are thankful for and proud of, things you are good at, your strengths, your skills, successes, and things you excel in. Write that list, and whenever you feel upset or unhappy with yourself, pull out that list, read it, and remind yourself about how amazing you are. Self-care is always helpful, so treat yourself. Eat your favorite meal, take a bath, read, get a massage. Do something that you just love and that makes you feel good about yourself, and really, really treat yourself and be kind to yourself. Finally, be patient and be realistic. Be honest with yourself. You won't feel your best 24/7, all day, every day. There are times when we feel down, and that is totally normal. That is being human. So be patient with yourself. Self-love is a journey, but it is not impossible to love yourself. It should be your aim, your goal, something you work towards to. But be kind with yourself, be realistic, and know that it takes time and effort. And that is it for today's video. I hope that you have enjoyed it, that you have taken something from it, and that you have learned something new. Self-love is so important, and I hope that you feel inspired to work on your self-love. Start implementing habits to love yourself more, to be kinder to yourself, to treat yourself with respect. I hope that the tips that I have shared are helpful on your journey towards more self-love. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below letting me know what your favorite tip is. Please also subscribe to my channel for more inspiring videos like this one. You can also follow me on Instagram, because on there I also talk about inspiration and how you can live your best life. So follow me there as well. And then I'm gonna see you next time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye!